What's going on, guys? It's your boy, the ITB Paladin. So, something weird. This is kind of funny. Just before I was going to record, I was going to hit the record button because I had the game going. And all of a sudden, my game decided to update. So, not only did it remove what I was initially going to show, because I had a plan behind everything, showing like one of my matches, what was happening to me, but now I can't because they patched it literally the next day. So, other than my stream, which I'm sure you could rewatch my most previous video, and I'll find a way to actually extract it and show that gameplay in a future YouTube video. I'm still ecstatic about this experimental patch, but they did an update. In fact, I'm just going to go up real quick. They did an update for the 23rd, which is today. Experimental bug fix update, and these are exactly the two issues that I'm going to refer to today. So the first one was Genji fixed a bug that allowed him to use his Dragon Blade indefinitely in some scenarios. Those scenarios just being that he dies with his ultimate is what I understood from a video that someone put out, actually. And then fixed a bug causing Genji to gain 1 additional second of Dragon Blade after killing multiple enemies in a single strike. Basically, he wasn't getting enough. So Lucio had a bug that I ran into, and if, again, you watched my stream, this was the bug I ran into, is that in some instances, a hero would be unable to move if he used crossfade to boost their speed, switches heroes, then switches back to Lucio. So, funny thing on that one, as I was playing Soldier 76, I will just give you the quick version of it. I'm in the middle of pushing on Eichenwald, we're on attack, and Lucio's speed boosting us in, and I didn't realize it at the time, that this was bugged. So I'm in the middle of pushing, and all of a sudden I'm pressing my sprint button, and my stick is dead. Like, I use the controller, so my stick up, and you can see that, you know, it goes up. But I was doing that. It was up all the way. Like, there's no mistaking that I didn't take my finger off it or anything of the sort. I played video games for years. I'm sure I know what happens if something's different, but I did that, and all of a sudden I stopped, and I'm like, hello, move, dodge, bob, weave? Anything? So at first I thought it was my connection, and then as I examined everything, I'm like, no, my connection's fine. It's got to be something else. So I thought back on it, like, okay, what in this patch did they alter that would have to, first off, do with movement? And I made the correct assumption. It was Lucio. We had a Lucio on our team, and when he did his speed boost, my sprint got canceled out, and I came to a grinding halt. And it happened multiple times before I got kicked trying to message the guy like, hey, Lucio's bugged, stop using him. In which case, it was just what it was. So, first things first. I'm just going to give a quick yay or nay. This video is not meant to elaborate on the patch. We've already talked about it enough, but I'm still quite happy with it. I'm just going to go with the yay or nay on these heroes and give a short explanation as to why. But a lot of streamers are actually unhappy. To name two that I've seen, Fitzy and ML7 are not happy with this patch update, saying that it's a big mistake, but I didn't actually watch their opinion, so I encourage you to go watch them instead of me. Let's just give a quick yay or nay. So I'm still happy with the patch. I'm still happy with everything that they included. First and foremost, Ana. Ammo increased from 12 to 14 and can now be using her own ultimate on herself with the interact key. Yay. And the short reason for that is that there's really just no downside to this. Like, it gives her more survivability where she has none. Like, she now has 2 extra shots that she could either heal or damage someone with. And then she could also save her own skin when she's getting dove by using an ultimate on herself, which reduces her oncoming damage, so that hopefully, depending on the situation, the team could peel for her and, you know, help her out of a bad situation. All in all, good. Yay. Moving on. Ashe. Her dynamite reduced from 100 to 90. It's a very minor thing. I don't think that they would make a difference if it got in, so I'm literally on the fence of saying yay or nay. It doesn't matter to me. It would just mean that she deals less damage, but she's already dealing a decent amount of damage every time she gets a boost from the Mercy, as well as like a headshot. So either way, squishies are still kind of being oppressed. It really doesn't make a big difference. It doesn't make a big dent. So for the sake of argument, yay. Baptiste, regenerative burst reduced from 75 to 65, so 10. And a mortality field now protects teammates to a minimum health threshold of 1, down from 20% maximum. I, again, encourage you to listen to, like, ML7 on this one, because he's the one who plays Baptiste and Ana, so he would offer a much better insight as to Baptiste's situation, because I didn't actually play support. It sounds like it's not that big of a deal because if you're at 20% health anyway, you're probably going to die. But I also understand that that was like 20% of anybody's health is more than a melee, like 30 damage. So to go from like surviving one melee hit to absolutely surviving nothing other than getting sneezed on, it probably does break him a little bit, but Immortality Field was a broken ability from the beginning, so I don't really see a way that they'd be able to fix it regardless. All in all, I'm going to say nay for the Immortality Field, but the Regenerative Burst doesn't really make too big of a difference, I don't think. But again, ML7's got that covered. Bastion, his self-repair increases movement speed, yay. He just needs mobility. Like, to be able to escape while repairing stops him from doing anything else, so he's not really oppressive when he's using his self-repair. I can't believe I messed that up. So all in all, I say yay to this change because it offers him a little bit more survivability and positioning. On top of that, it's not a very huge speed increase, so it's not like it's going to break him. Brigitte, her Inspire is removed from teammates when she's eliminated. Yay. And the reason I say yes with this one is because Inspire is a very powerful healing ability that gives you value, and that means that she comes back in. First off, her ultimate is not hard to get. Like, if you're doing your job and healing your teammates accordingly and getting into brawls consistently alongside your tanks and your team, you will literally never not have your ultimate. Like, even playing her, it was like, if I really wanted to, I could have gotten her ult maybe within 1 or 2 team fights, which is, by the way, an average anyway. So if you get it within more than that, it's not that hard. But, or rather, you're just not good. But considering that I don't play support, and when I do play support, I played Baptiste, Anna, and Brigitte, and Moira. I do know how to play a majority of them, but I play on like an average skill level. So to say the least, I'm not. No, like Brigitte, to get her ultimate is way too easy. So Inspire and I are really making a big difference. So Brigitte, yeah, just put it in. Diva's boosters. Holy crap, she has dive potential. I'm going to say nay for the reason that I've seen how far her character moves on 3 seconds versus 2 seconds. She was able to get from, if I recall correctly, from on Lijiang Tower. There was the center point with a little like, I want to call it like an astronomical like interface up top or something, that one of the people were able to determine that it has the offices and it's like, it's the tower. It's like the base tower, I believe. Or the top tower, I don't recall. Either way, the point being is that she was able to boost all the way from one end of the wall at the way end next to some of the, like the decorations, all the way to the point. I think that's a little much. Yes, give her some dive potential. Maybe reduce it to 2.5, but other than that, no. I'm going to say no. Echo. I'm not even going to talk about this. Absolute yay. And if it doesn't go into real game, then the devs need to be on crack. Yeah, she needs to. They're going to be on crack if they don't put. They need to put this in right away. Genji. I just reread that ability. Yeah, they need to alter that too. Genji, secondary fire, and his Dragon Blade. Shuriken's fine. Dragon Blade, no, not needed. Not needed at all. You don't need 6 seconds is enough with his mobility and the ability to like critically avoid being accurately shot at. So Shurikens, yay. Dragon Blade, nay. Hanzo, Dragon Strike. From the time I played him and the time I saw it, it's really not a game breaker. So an absolute yay. He needs. wait until they make the Zarya meta thing again. The grab dragons. Junkrat, yay. It doesn't make a difference. Lucio, his sound wave increased by 2 seconds, radius increased by 50, and effectiveness falls off. As long as the patch does actually fix it, which as far as I could tell it did, but I didn't play the patch yet. Yeah, there's really no downside to this. It makes him a more effective healer, and it encourages people to actually group up versus stay apart, in which case, if you stay apart, you're just an idiot. Mesa Endothermic Blaster, yay. Mercy's Guardian Angel, I seriously still do not see the benefit to that, so yay or nay doesn't really matter. Orisa, Protective a Barrier. She was played. I didn't notice a difference. I mean, it stayed up a little longer, I guess. It's 100 HP is not really making a huge dent, I'll be honest. So, yay, I guess. Farah. I picked her up for like maybe a second. I didn't actually get to test her. I mean, yay, because it kind of encourages you to play the way that she was meant to be played. But again, I don't have a solid opinion, so I'm just going to say on the fence on this one. Reaper, Shadow Step. This is an absolute yay. Like, the purpose of this was to kind of flank the enemy, but if everybody knows you're flanking, there's kind of no point to it. All in all, I say this is a good balance for him. It doesn't need to be that critical. It's actually it's not game breaking. Reinhardt's Earth Chatter, absolute yay, because that needs to. I think they just need to be stunned for 2 seconds, because it makes no sense the half-second difference. Like, may as well just go to the 3. So all in all, yay. Soldier 76. Let me tell you that because as a Soldier main, I was playing him more. I'm going to say this is an absolute yay, save for the damage. Might need I didn't notice it too much, so no absolute complaints. But this is an absolute yay, and I'll tell you why. It offers more utility, it offers more damage output as a result, and more options to deal damage in specific ways. And you don't die from your own ability when you accidentally hit a wall trying to run away. So, absolute win in my book. Soldier 76, that is a yay. An absolute one. Sombra. Okay. So Fitzy was the one who put out for Sombra, and I didn't watch his video yet. I'm planning on watching it afterwards, but he put it in the title of his video that Sombra is basically useless. To paraphrase whatever he said. So I'm going to go off on a limb and say it's probably for the best that this patch doesn't go through for Sombra, because it defeats the purpose of what she's supposed to do, and she's not that oppressive if you know what to look for. I've beaten games where Sombra was destroying our team, but yet we managed to pull it together. So, all in all, it's a nay. I don't think it's good for her character to get that useless. Symmetra, her Sentry turret speed increased. I didn't play against Symmetra, but I'm going to say that 5 meters increase is not really a big deal. You just take care of it the same way you did. You just have to react a little quicker because it'll be on the point where she aimed a little quicker. So, yeah. Torbjorn's turrets. Okay. So this one is a little iffy. It is the same thing as Soldier. As a result, he gets an extra charge, but they're weaker. Yay for the fact that it does offer more utility and more options, because if you set up on defense, it's now 2 extra points you got to look for, and it's not really that oppressive. But I was also very strangely facing a lot of teams that were apparently like Grandmaster awareness and Grandmaster teamwork, and I'm assuming that most of them were Grandmasters too, which is kind of weird. But all in all, it's basically like Symmetra was. You can either be really good with her or really bad with her. Your team will either be on point defending or all-out attacking, and you will destroy the enemy team absolutely, or you will absolutely be destroyed. But this offers more utility by offering like 2 separate points, and where you could set up, like you could set one up on high ground and one on low ground, so that he has to look up and away from your team or some other thing. But they are still oppressive. They're just not dealing as much damage, and they don't have as much health. So all in all, I say yay. It makes Torbjorn, I guess, a little bit like it wasn't actually not fun to play against, so I don't have an issue. Tracer's base health and cooldown. I did not notice a major difference, so I'm going to just say yay, because it just increases her survivability a little bit. It's like facing a Widowmaker. The only difference is that it's a jittery Widowmaker, but it's still killable. Like, yay. Widowmaker Venom Mine. Damage increased from 75 to 120. Damage taken over time increased to 6 seconds, and trigger radius is by 4 meters. Absolute yay. Like, there is no doubt about that. Widowmaker needed a change like that where it would actually have some value. Like, the Venom Mine shouldn't be able to one-piece an entire hero like Tracer or Diva, but it should put a sizable dent in their health pool regardless. So, yes, absolute yay, because that gives her an avenue of defense. Winston, I didn't really see a purpose to rebalancing him. I really didn't. I guess maybe just the extra armor means that he receives less damage in the long run. Wrecking Ball, absolute yay. Holy crap. It was fun to actually play against him for once. Not only was he not as oppressive, but we actually get value for his fuck ups. And let me tell you that was one of the biggest things that was pissing me off is like his previous state in the normal game is that he basically becomes oppressive and he can fuck up. And he gets a get out of jail free card because his grappling claw can come out within 5 seconds and he puts up his adaptive shields and is able to just get out of jail for free. He basically gets into a 1v6 as Rambo. The only difference is that Rambo apparently brought a tank, and then he can just get out without anybody gaining anything from it. Like, we have to focus him. Why is he able to do that? That is just way too much. Even if they reduced his size by 15%, which makes him a little harder to hit, it wasn't a big difference. Like, I was still able to get him. Like, I'm able to get value from him now. That's all that matters. Yes, yes, Blizzard, stop smoking crack, and yes, put this in the game, please. Zarya, her projected barrier by 4 meters, I didn't notice that difference, so I'll be honest, it's a yay or nay on my point. And Zenyatta's movement speed increased by 0.3%. I just put it as a yay, because he needs all the help he can get. He's not very good, and it's only for his ultimate anyway, it's not for anything else. All in all, we're not looking at March 4th, but all in all, I did like a majority of this, and the majority of it is yay, as you heard. My only downside, or my only gripe against this entire thing, if you call it gripe, I don't know. They didn't touch Moira. They didn't touch Roadhog, McCree, Sigma. Who was the 5th hero they didn't touch? They didn't touch one more hero. I wish they kind of at least put in a small change, because like they're like going back down to Zenyatta, like 0.3%. 0.3% in the movement speed, like that is a very extreme, like okay, if this was his movement speed, it was like going from this to this. Like, it didn't make him an impact. It didn't do shit. They could have done the same thing for McCree, Roadhog, Sigma. I honestly think that Sigma should have received some form of nerf because he's also very oppressive, but I'll go into that in another video. I'm going to make 2 videos. The first one's going to be a review of what happened during the experimental patch where I stopped moving, which is a very entertaining watch, to say the least. And the the next one is actually going to be about heroes that I hate and heroes that I like. I might do my top 5s and just give reasons as to why I hate them and try to make it a short video, as short as possible, but it might be another 20-minute video. All in all, I very much like this. I don't know what's wrong with Blizzard saying that this is not going to go into the live version of the game, but it really needs to. Like, it's going to mix up the game just enough to have replay value. And now, just as an ending statement, the reason there are no plans to implement these changes outside of the experimental card. I get that. But you basically just announced Overwatch 2 to the entire world like a year ago and a couple of months. You announced Overwatch 2, and a year later you said, when, by the way, we were supposed to get it at the beginning of this year, quick note and reminder, then at the time that BlizzCon came along, you're like, oh, hey, the game's not finished yet, so we're going to need a little more time so that we can iron out, the problems with it. And so they do that, and now basically that was like a big, like, sucker punch saying, sit down and wait. And granted, I'm on their side about, making sure that the game comes out perfect. I'm all totally on board with that. The thing that I have a problem with, the major thing that I have a problem with is that they announce that, say that we're not getting Overwatch 2, but then expect us to play the same game with minor fixes every little while. And it's like, no, the replay value starts going down. Like, you get bored of playing the same thing, even with minute changes. It blends in and it becomes unplayable. But then, you have a tournament. You have a tournament and an experimental card that changes practically the entire roster. You wave it in our face and like, hey, look, these are some major changes that we have planned for this tournament. And then followed up with, side note, it's not going to live. Run that by me again? Run that by me again? Like, don't don't... like, kudos to them for wanting to make Overwatch 2 better, but, like, an absolute, just the tip to basically everybody who plays this game and wants to play it long term when you literally flash an entire game-changing patch, and I say entire game-changing loosely, but an entire patch based on that, and then you don't even add it to the game in live variant. What? What kind of drugs are you on, and where can I get some? Nah, my wife will kill me. But I'm going to end the video before I go on another rant. Everybody have a good one. I will be on Wednesday playing some Call of Duty with a friend, hopefully, and if that falls through, I'll be back on Overwatch playing some more of the experimental card and trying to work out some stuff. Be on the lookout, however. I might upload it tomorrow. I might upload it the day after for Thursday. I don't know. Maybe I might upload twice. I'm just going to find the video footage and try and work it and finagle it and have it all there ready for you to watch and just see how the Lucio bug kind of made my match where I was freaking out. It was hilarious. Other than that, I'm also going to put out, if you guys, watch this video like you did before, just watch the video. If you decide that it would be kind of like an entertaining watch to see my top 5, like my personal top 5 and my personal bottom 5, if you call them that, because I don't even give them the respect of top. But yeah, I'll put that out if you guys put it in the comment section. I'll do my favorite and my least favorite heroes, and we'll go from there. Anyways, have a good night. Thank you for tuning in and watching this video. Please consider subscribing and catch me up on Twitch on tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.